Once a powerhouse in Ukambani's retail world, Mulleys rose from a tiny stall to a regional giant, then collapsed in a storm of debt, family battles, and legal fights. Today, we uncover the untold truth behind its rise and its downfall. For an entire generation across Ukambani and even beyond, the name Mulleys carried two promises: goods priced fairly and a founder known for unmatched determination. Today we break down the complete journey, how it began with one man's stall, how it grew into a chain, and how it finally spiraled into closures and court disputes. Let's go right back to the beginning. Peter Mule wasn't a man decorated with academic degrees or an impressive resume. Many accounts even claim he lacked formal schooling altogether. His beginnings were humble, selling eggs, chickens, charcoal, and occasionally wood carvings. He was the type of trader who knew each customer personally. He vowed that his children would have a different life, one with education and opportunities he never had. That perseverance is the root of the Mule story. People still recall how Mule could negotiate, trade through gestures with foreigners, and always return home with a deal secured. He was the definition of a hustler, his life reflecting the classic Kenyan entrepreneurship journey. The business began as a family wholesale operation named Peter Mule and Sons Limited, built on deep grassroots distribution. They supplied kiosks, shops, and boda operators. As time went on, the family formalized their retail and distribution work, and Mulleys Supermarket became the public face of this broader venture. Expansion followed, first within Machakos County, then into Nairobi, Kitui, and Mwingi. The growth was steady and felt natural, as though a tree continually sprouting new branches. At its height, reports show Mulleys operated around 10 branches, plus wholesale and distribution centers, making it a strong regional retailer. Mulleys thrived because it was local at heart. Prices were fair, loyal customers could get informal credit, and employees understood the community. In towns like Machakos, Mulleys was the go-to place for groceries, not the big national chains. Their distribution network could reach places major retailers ignored. For many small traders, Mulleys was essential. Peter invested heavily in his children, not just in expanding stores. He ensured they were educated and they returned to oversee various parts of the company: procurement, distribution, store management. The business diversified too: multiple outlets, distribution hubs, and at one point even gyms, spas, and restaurants, according to older profiles. This type of vertical integration gave them control from supplier to shelf, but being a family-driven enterprise meant decisions sometimes followed family reasoning instead of corporate structures. Love, heritage, and business were intertwined. Rapid growth feels exciting until the financial weight arrives. Warning signs became public around 2021 when the company abruptly shut down 5 of its 10 branches, laying off hundreds of employees. That kind of closure signals more than a seasonal issue. It suggests a deep structural problem. Suppliers started filing complaints and creditors began circling. With Mulleys run tightly as a family entity and the founder's estate tied closely to the business, complications grew. After the 2021 contraction, a series of legal petitions appeared. Creditors fought to recover what they were owed, and liquidators requested validation of debts. News reports listed Mulleys among Kenyan farms struggling under debt pressure. This is the point where many smaller retail chains either find a buyer or slowly collapse. In Mulleys' case, the legal struggle only made things worse. When banks and suppliers take matters to court, the company is already on life support. Founder Peter Mule had passed away earlier. Court documents show succession cases around his estate dating back to around 2010 or 2011. His death intertwined personal estate issues with the company's operations. High Court files revealed disputes over administration, inheritance, and business ownership. These rulings highlight that although the company appeared formal on paper, it functioned as an extension of the family, making creditor recovery even harder. So the crisis wasn't purely financial. It was also a family dispute. Siblings, trustees, and beneficiaries all had stakes, and the courts were repeatedly asked to intervene. This kind of conflict freezes business operations. You can't manage procurement while account ownership is being debated in court. Multiple issues combined to create the downfall. 1. Overexpansion, too many branches with high operating costs. 2. Weak corporate governance, family-based decisions lacked strong financial systems. 3. Heavy supplier credit, too much stock bought on credit. 4. Cash flow shortages, liquidity dried up. 5. Rising competition. National chains and new retail models challenge them. 6. Increased operating costs. Rent, fuel, and forex-affected imports all cut margins. When revenue slows but expenses persist, businesses borrow. And when borrowing becomes the model for survival, collapse becomes almost inevitable. The downsizing had a human impact. Hundreds of employees lost jobs, and local suppliers depending on Mulleys distribution struggled. In places where Mulleys was the anchor store, closures affected foot traffic, surrounding businesses, and community income. When a family-run enterprise falls, an entire local economy feels it. Still, the legacy cannot be ignored. Peter Mule built something remarkable from almost nothing. For decades, Mule supported communities, provided employment, and created supply routes that small traders relied on. In Ukambani, they were the people's supermarket, friendly and reliable. The family also empowered its own children through education and business rules. The current legal and financial turmoil doesn't erase years of genuine growth and service. The court records remain a significant part of the Mulleys story. Cases like Succession Cause number 987 of 2010, among others, and later land and civil disputes show how estate management dragged on for years, affecting both the family and creditors needing clarity on assets. So the lesson is, family businesses must prioritize structure. They need formal boards, separation between personal and business finances, proper audits, succession planning, and buffers for economic shocks. Mulleys had heart and community loyalty, but lacked some of the governance backbone required for sustainable scaling. It's a classic Kenyan business warning: grow big, but strengthen your foundation. So what remains today? The Mulleys name still lives in memory. For some, it's nostalgia. For others, it's a business case study. But one truth stands: Peter Mule created something real, something meaningful. And that's the full story of Mulleys Supermarket.